Hello everyone, so I'm finally back with another video. So yes, I have taken some time off of YouTube, and I guess it was for personal reasons. Also, I had to complete the doll that I was working on in the last video. So I wanted to wait until I completed her before I made the video. So without further ado, I shall show you the doll and talk about a few other dolls as well. So here is the doll that was in the previous video, and I will include a link to that video in case y'all didn't see me going through the process of taking out her hair, and it was kind of a little story time behind this doll. So if y'all didn't see that video, then I will be sure to include a link to that so you can watch that. But she is completely rooted, completely re-rooted. Her hair is much longer. At least I think it is. This might have been her original length hair. This was originally a Fibercraft. I didn't mention this in my last video because I couldn't remember her name. But apparently she's from Fibercraft, and she was called Indian Princess or something like that. Yeah, as you can tell, she has lost her eyelashes, as I mentioned in the last video, but she does have some painted on, so it doesn't look so weird. If she didn't have those painted on, if she didn't have the painted on liner, it would have looked a little bit weird. But she does have that. I might try to see if I can't put eyelashes back in at some point, but as for now, that's just gonna have to work. And I found her this dress, and I don't usually name my dolls, but for obvious reasons, I am going to call her Cher. So yeah, that is gonna be her name, because I mean, come on. Like, she looks so, like, from that era too, like. So yeah, I will be naming her Cher. She just looks so 70s and everything. And the makeup too is, to me, a lot like what Cher wore back in the 70s. So that is her name. Her name is going to be Cher. So she has gone from Indian princess to 70s pop icon. So yeah, I would love to see her in some like fringe and some like bell bottoms and stuff like that. Give her like a hippie headband and stuff like that. That would be totally rad. But that is her. So yeah, former Crafts doll is now a pop icon. So yeah, that is her. So I guess I will go over a brief history of this doll. My sister-in-law's aunt, who I call my grandma, I moved in with her after my mom passed away back in 2009. So, and she bought me a bunch of dolls because she knew I liked them, and I think she was a rather lonely person. I mean, she had just lost a dog, so she had another dog, but she had just lost one of her dogs, and I think she knew I needed a place to stay. At that time, I wasn't yet out on my own, and I think she was a little bit lonely, and we'd talked before, so she trusted me. So, and it was my birthday, like, shortly before I came to live with her. So she just bought me a whole bunch of dolls, and this was one of them. So yeah, I will show you some of the other ones that she also got me. Well, yeah, they are actually ones that she got me, and then there's some other ones I got myself along down the line. So without further ado, I will show you those. So here we have a lot more Crafts dolls, as you can see. Some of them are very weird looking, but that's just because they're made for crafts and you're supposed to make parts of their bodies and whatnot. So this is actually another doll that I rerouted, and she's the same type of doll as this one. I suspect that her original hairstyle was like this one, so she has the curly hair and then she has the little tendrils on the sides that are longer than the rest of her hair. So yeah, I've had quite a lot of these dolls growing up. So yeah. And they're just basic baby doll looking crafts dolls. Kind of toddler-ish. I don't really know how to label them. But this is another one my sister-in-law's aunt gave me, and she had a huge crocheted dress on, but that is put away. Yeah, as you can see, like, her eye over here is, like, slanted, like, crooked. Actually, both her eyes are crooked. They're both, like, slanting the same way. They're not supposed to do that. But yeah, she's an old one. So, and it just says Angel on her back. Hong Kong. And this one right here is another one. Her hair was this color originally too. And just says Made in China on her. It doesn't say Hong Kong. She's a much later one. If you can see the difference in the eyes, I don't know, these ones look a lot cheaper than these eyes. So you can see how much more detailed these ones are. Like how much more realistic they look compared to those. And the same with hers. These ones both have the same types of eyes. And then hers look really realistic, like, whoa. But yeah, so those are the bigger types of dolls. So they made ones like her that were kind of teenager-ish. They also made ones that were like supersized Barbie height, and then these ones. And then these are regular Barbie-sized fashion dolls. And this one right here, I have two of them, but they look so different. I actually had her in one of my thrift haul videos back in 2016 or 2015, I believe. And another type of doll you're supposed to crochet a dress for. That's basically what all of these are for, crocheting dresses. And I found her at the thrift store basically in brand new condition. And she's still, I haven't taken her panties off of her. Those are her original ones. And that's how she came. Just with panties like that. And she also had little white shoes. They all came with them. Little white high heels that had bows on them. So yeah, she definitely looks like Cher to me. Not necessarily, well, maybe this one kind of does, but this one more so. Like, whoa. And then there's the Caucasian variant. So yeah. And then these are all my, they called them Teen Doll Pick or whatever. And they were for making cakes and stuff with. So they called them Teen Doll Cakes or something. So you make a dome cake, and that's supposed to be the skirt part of the dress. And then you take this part, insert it into it, and then you decorate all this with icing and turn it into a dress. So they have miniature ones. So these are all the variants. They might have had African American variants too, but I never saw them. So black, brunette, redhead, and sort of a blondish color. And then these are the bigger ones. Most of them got broken. So like the little piece, which I found one of the pieces got broken off. But you can, if you find a lower part of the body, you can. It looks kind of weird, but when they have clothes on, you can't really tell. She will be getting rerouted. Their hairs are messy. They've been in storage. So the ones that... And my sister-in-law's aunt I call her my grandma. Her name is KK. So she got me those 2 dolls. She gave me that one before I moved in with her. She bought me this one. She bought me that one, and this one. This one I got on my own. I found her at Michael's, and then this one I found her at the Goodwill. She was still in her package. And then she also got me all of these. I used to get these little doll heads. You'll have to excuse their hair is messy. Yeah, compared to a regular Barbie head. They're about that size, and I still don't know how you're supposed to make these. They came with little hands, too, and the body is supposed to be cloth or whatever. And these bigger ones were the same way. But I used to get these whenever I was like 14, and they had a hairstyle more like that. It was short and it was flipped. And you could either get blonde or brunette. And those dolls, it was the exact same head, the exact same face, but those ones had blue eyes instead of purple. So yeah, these ones came with long ponytails. And since they have so much hair, it's really hard to see. But they are bald in the middle. So yeah, I still don't know how this is supposed to work. So if any of you crafters out there know how to do that. Some of them don't have their connector thingies anymore because I took them out. And those are the big ones. A very Marilyn Monroe looking, kind of. I don't know, these Crafts dolls, I like how generic they look. It's always fascinated me at how generic they look. And also like how old-fashioned they are. So, something that's always fascinated me about these is, you know, they're generic looking, and I just always wanted to collect them because they were, some of them were so odd. Like, I love this doll's face mold. Yeah, Mattel never used this face mold. So this company made that face mold, and I like her, like, simplistic face paint. I really like it, or facial screening. Later versions came like this with no fringe. So yeah. If you recognize the arms, though, that definitely was used on Mattel dolls. So yeah. And the torso too, like the torso mold definitely is very reminiscent of the same torso mold they used for Talking Barbie, or maybe not her, but like Twist and Turn Barbie and Malibu Barbie and that sort of torso mold. The arms, definitely. Any vintage collector will recognize those arms instantly. So yeah. They did borrow some molds, but not all of them. So yeah. Just very weird, generic, old-fashioned looking sort of knockoff budget dolls that just fascinate me endlessly. So yeah. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching my interesting little video. More videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.